Sekur provides secure data, including messaging, email, and it's very unique in terms of all the tech platforms out there. And with me is the CEO, Alain Ghiai, to explain what Sekur does. And I really wanted to talk to you today about these messaging apps, because there's so many of them, and they are showing signs of getting hacked into. Now, a couple of years ago, it was like, some of these are safe, but it turns out they're really not that safe. Telegram, Discord. Explain to me what you know and what makes these apps vulnerable.
Sure. So what we do is Sekur is an end-to-end privacy communication platform. We have an email, we have messenger, voice message sending, file share, and so forth. And we're developing into voice communication and video communication as well from your phone or your laptop. The particularity that what we do is we have our own technology, we have privacy ingrained in the entire process. We host everything in Switzerland only on our own machine, and we don't use third-party cloud providers like 99% of the big tech. So going back to this discussion here, there was an article on threatpost.com, great website for people to look and be informed of the different threats happening. And this one talks about how Telegram and Discord are being used by cyber hacker for nefarious acts, so for their criminal activity. And there's features in Telegram where you can basically dispatch, do a whole airing of sharing and dispatching, and a lot of stuff that are not typically on your typical WhatsApp or Signal. They're used as broadcasting, essentially. You can broadcast content, and the hackers come in. They basically use those features to steal everything about you, from your login, your credential, your content. And they use Telegram. The way this article explains is that Telegram, especially, and Discord, are used for repository for storing that stolen information as well by the hackers. So they're going to go to your channel, because Telegram has a lot of channel for, broadcast. They'll swipe everything and they'll do a big sweep of all your credential, your content, and so forth. And then they'll store it in another, let's say, part in Telegram for future use. It's interesting you mentioned that they also are saying that, there was hacking in Facebook Business Messenger, and the hackers, they used to have only private data. Discord is a huge one, as you were mentioning before our call, used by a lot of gamers, a lot of people on stock market, stock tipping and all that. I've never been on Discord. It's really not the company's branding to go on these kind of applications, plus we have our own. And also what happens is, it used to be personal data. Now more and more businesses are using Telegram, even though there's massive fines for bankers, maybe not another kind of business person, but for bankers, they're paying up to $1 billion in fine, all the big banks, because they use WhatsApp and Telegram. So what's happening is these apps are now being used to steal our business data as well. Wow. Right? So that's pretty intense.
Well, and I've noticed on Telegram that sometimes I will get added to groups that I never agreed to. I'm like, how did I get in this group? And I'll delete it and everything, but it just seems like a strange, I feel like I should have the right to say whatever group I'm in.
Absolutely. Somebody will come, and I call it bullying, kind of. It's the form of I'm going to put you in this group whether you want it or not. Talking about bullying, I was thinking the other day, because it's going to be back to school. And a year ago, somebody told me that Secure Messenger is an amazing tool for teenagers and anti-bullying. And I said, well, it's a business tool. It costs money. No teenager is going to buy it. But then I understood, because the fact that you don't give your phone number away, and in your case, if you're in a group, you have to be asked first, right? Nobody can just shove you in a group. your first ask, and then you can leave that group. But if somebody puts you in a group, it will only be within your contact on Sekur. So an outsider can't know your phone number and suddenly bully you into things, sending you stuff, shoving you into some group that you don't want to be. So there's an element of protection in our system as well. One more thing about Telegram, a shareholder sent me 5 minutes ago out of Germany that the German authorities now are asking Telegram for all the data of the criminals that they want. And, that's great, but that tells you that the whole myth that Telegram can't look at anything, we don't have access to anything, it's all nonsense. And I've known for years this because I work with telecom operators overseas that told me that Supreme Court judges have been subpoenaing in Brazil, for example, Telegram, and Telegram readily opens all the channel for them. So there's no privacy and no security. It's good to catch criminals, obviously, but if you want privacy, that's not the platform to go to. And on top of that, you're going to be hacked by all these hackers.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because when all the craziness was going on with the election in January 2020, a lot of people were moving to Telegram and they wanted to get on Twitter and Facebook and because they felt like it was more private, but I guess maybe not. Now we know more later.
It's a complete myth. It may be better than Facebook, WhatsApp because they may not data mine and sell your data in real time, but there's no privacy.
All right. And they have your phone number, and that's the bottom line, right?
Yeah, you have your phone number, that's the bottom line. And there's a lot of hackers because, that if you use Telegram, you're categorized, unfortunately, as one of those, do no gooders. You're in that shady world, you have something to hide. It's unfortunate, but that's the branding of Telegram. Yeah. And that's where the hackers go to steal data as well.
Interesting. Yeah, it's kind of gotten a reputation for anything goes, which is free speech, but it's tough.
ISIS was using Telegram years ago. It was all over the French channel that ISIS was using Telegram, and and it's free. It's free, right? You can just create a Gmail and open an account with Telegram and have a SIM card that's temporary. Here's my phone number, here's my email. You can be anonymous like that to some degree and just use the thing for whatever you want. So it's a catastrophe that all these people, all these hackers and terrorists are using these free platforms.
Yeah. Well, okay. Very interesting. So let's talk about Sekur. And I know you were spending this summer kind of working on your tech infrastructure. So tell me about that. Where are you with that? What can we expect this fall?
Sure. So we're pretty excited because we're finally flushing out the little bugs of our Secure Mail application. So in the fall, we're launching Secure Mail for iOS, Android, and of course on the web, which is already functioning, but we're just finishing some debugging and just some new releases on our Android app. Very excited because people can use Secure Send feature now. We have also later in the fall, we're launching some enterprise versions of our mail and messenger. We are basically launching sometime in October, hopefully, a way for large enterprises to onboard as many people as they want, as opposed to having each user, like if you're a big company, you got 1,000 people you want on Messenger, then you can have an administrative layer where they onboard all the employees and then they send the accounts to the employees, like a real enterprise feature, because we're getting a lot of demand from enterprises, and especially overseas in Latin America, where we have now presence in 7 to 8 countries, I'm happy to say. So that's one thing. We're going to work on the group functionality. So really work a little bit on these functionalities for email and messenger. We just launched a brand new version of our webmail as well. We're preparing some video tools, etc., polishing up the site. So we've done most of that work, and in the fall, all of that will be deployed. We're also going to optimize our website for organic and paid search engine optimization. So we're going to move away from influencer type marketing and spending the money on our own site, because the return on investment is far greater, and we believe for Q1 we'll be very well prepared to have a very low cost of acquisition and a very robust optimization site to get small business and consumers. So we have quite a lot happening in the fall. We're going to talk more about it as we see each other as well. Definitely the email app is a big launch, big thing that people have been waiting. So that's sometime in September, we're going to have it fully launched.
Well, that is coming up. And I know I'll see you this fall back in New York again. So I look forward to the updates.
I'm excited. Thank you so much, Jane.